الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode of The Helper's Gift. And this time we'll call it a Nur al-Qulub edition.
Sounds good.
With my guest here who's been through a long life of accolades and achievements of graduating from a university. And what else?
That's it, bro.
MashaAllah. Mutee Rahman Saifullah. So, do you have anything that you want to say to help people get to know who you are? A little bit of an introduction about yourself?
Now, you see, this podcast, I don't want to make it about me. I mean, no one knows who I am, but that's fine. I wanted to turn it around, and I wanted to be the one asking the questions, and inshallah, make it more about yourself.
Yeah, I remember that. We talked about that. But, all right, we can do that. I don't mind. If you want to go first.
Okay, bismillah.
Go on.
I'm going to jump straight in. So obviously you've had a few podcasts. You've probably talked about a lot of these topics anyway.
Yeah.
But I want to pretend as if you haven't done anything and you've not discussed anything.
I don't think I've done much.
Okay, that's fine then. If you've not talked about this at all, like I want to start from the beginning. So obviously everyone knows, or if they don't, they should know that you're Maulana. You've graduated.
Apparently.
You're Imam of a mosque here where we are, St Albans Islamic Centre. So my first question is, if I were to ask you what you do for a living, what would you say?
If it's a non-Muslim, you just clearly say, isn't it, that, yeah, I lead prayers and I'm the leader of the prayers in the mosque. Friday prayers, daily prayers, all the prayers. If there's funerals, I'm there to conduct funerals, or if there's any weddings, then yeah, I conduct the wedding as well. But yeah, I wouldn't tell them, the same way that you said to a Muslim, that yeah, if you've got any issues with your marriage, if you've got anything that you need help with, stuff like that, by all means come into the masjid and ask me for help.
Okay, so what would your response be to a Muslim then? Just that?
You would elaborate that whole thing of that, the masjid imam is here to serve, but not to be a servant, if that makes sense.
Okay, would you add on anything to that at all? Because obviously for some people they can just search up the definition of an imam, but to know what it is, it's obviously entails a lot more. I think sometimes imams do like a massive job and no one actually knows besides the praying. People don't actually get into what it is.
Yeah, so you wouldn't tell people the extra stuff you do as an imam. Like, I guess, when somebody's an alim and they teach, it's much easier just to say, yeah, I teach this book, that book, and all this. But as the imam, you don't tell the awam, as we call it, the locals, that, yeah, I deal with marriage cases, if you're going through divorce, if you have problems, and, I'm here to actually, be a counselor if you want, give you a bit of, help. But you don't say that to the people. You say, yeah, if you need help, by all means, I'm here. The masjid, the imam's always here if you want to speak.
And some imams don't, but I could add here that you've actually done counselling education as well. You've done
level 3 I think it was, but yeah, not much. Like it doesn't, like there's more to do, but yeah, as in
still level 3 is for those who don't know, level 3 is like A-level equivalent.
Is it?
Yeah, level 2 GCSEs, level 3 is A-level equivalent. So you've done quite a bit, mashallah. Means you know what you're talking about, innit? Not just a random imam who say, I'm going to do counselling. Cool. I'll go on to my next question. In some of your podcasts as well, and just generally when I'm talking to you, getting to know you, you often refer to your experience in madrasa of when you've graduated. Do you think, and if so, how do you think that's defined you as a person?
This is funny because you were there the other day when we went to that nikah, and it was somebody's nikah the other day that we went to, and we met all the madrasa boys.
Did you?
So I guess some people would say when madrasa boys get together we're different. But how did it define me, or if it did? Definitely it did. As in, like, for me, I grew up in the madrasa, isn't it? Like, year 7 till I was till 21 or something. I was in the madrasa. So main core, like, I wouldn't say the main things, but it kind of brings you up when you're in that madrasa. You learn things. You learn how to trust people, who to trust, how to trust them, what to trust them in. You learn, who can you speak to, like all these kind of things. So I would say it was a major factor, especially if you look at, okay, I'm from Welling Garden City, and out of the whole of Welling Garden City, okay, one person went to a madrasa, and now that one person is the one that is in a masjid as an imam.
Not in Welling as imam though.
Yeah, true. I got exiled. But like, you see, it plays a big factor.
Okay, fine. Name 3 things that you think have defined you from that experience of madrasa. If you can't think of 3, just go on. Say even one thing. But like, what's the most important thing you think the madrasa experience has created you now?
Most important or the most effective?
Most effective.
The trust would be, I think, one of the major things that it taught me. Like, who to trust, how much to trust, and all that.
Okay.
That is one thing that madrasa taught me that I think had an effect all the way until now, and probably in the future as well. Other than that, I would probably say understanding, maybe. I'm not sure if that's from madrasa, but
as a madrasa has made you more of an understanding person.
I would think so. That knowing people, understanding that everyone goes through a different walk of life.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Kind of thing, because we had all sorts of madrasa in it.
That's a very good way of saying it. Yeah. Okay, so moving on from that then, what do you think, from your experience in madrasa, and then obviously after you've graduated, and now you've been a supervisor in madrasa as well, so what do you think are the biggest challenges for boys who graduate from madrasa or Darul Uloom nowadays?
So not my people, but people there now. So not my age, people that
both, either. So
no, because I think
you could say, yeah. So let's say find people now then.
So nowadays, I'm not sure if it would be as much. I think nowadays a lot of the graduates don't want to be in the Islamic world. They rather just go after dunya than deen. Now that's why majority. There is a few that, mashallah, they do thrive.
So is that implying that they're being forced into doing it?
No, they're being forced to learn, forced into a madrasa, or they're all told GCSEs, A levels, get out, go uni. And like, I guess somebody said this about a different area once. I won't name the area, but a lot of people see it there as a culture just to become a Hafiz Alim kind of thing. So like, so I think some families in that nowadays they have it like, my son went Alim, he became Hafiz, what's he doing now? Like, he's going uni and that. It's like, so what's he doing with his hifz? I think he's got Tarawih coming up, maybe not, we'd see what we do. But stuff like that. I think that's the major thing about it's not really instilled into them that this is a ni'mah, a blessing.
They don't value the importance of it.
I blame the parents for that, not the teachers.
Or you could put some of the blame on the individuals themselves as well.
I'm not sure. I don't think you can blame the individual until they are 13, 15 and they've been told to learn about it. When they're young, year 7, and if you're told in year 7, all right, get into hifz class, spend 3 years on your hifz and get out, then I guess it's instilled to them when they're young that you're going to leave, and we need to get you good GCSEs, good A levels, so you have a good job, good paying job.
That's good that you went on to that. 'Cause my next question is, do you think it's harder for boys who graduate from madrasa to get a good job?
It seems like you told me the questions beforehand. Is it harder for... Not all of them. I guess one thing that comes from the madrasa is like, for some of the kids, is that you kind of were given everything. In a sense, some people would say that. So then when you come out, you're not used to working as hard. But then there's some of them that, they work really hard. They become a judge. They go and become a biomedical scientist. They go, like, become a radiologist. Something like that. Like
because they put in extra effort, or do you think it's because...
No, they knew they would... Like, that extra effort isn't extra if you know it's coming, right? So they knew that we will have to put in this work to get to where we want. So, they put in the work. If you say it's extra just because they went to madrasa and they didn't have the years that they had with A levels and all this and that, then yeah, it's extra according to that. But they knew what they would have to go through to get where they are, and they did it.
Just saying, if you've got the determination and the will to do it, you're going to do it regardless.
Yeah.
Okay. I just meant in the sense that, do you think it's putting them on a back foot because they've gone through so many years of obviously not doing mainstream education, and then they're kind of like stuck sometimes?
This actually came up actually in the madrasa recently. There was, happened to a student that decide in A levels or alimiya kind of thing. Like if you don't go to your A levels now, you won't be able to go later because the education system won't let you. So yeah, it's like it does kind of, but then our teachers and the people that graduated before us, when you value the Islamic knowledge more and Dini knowledge, then it doesn't matter about the dunya knowledge. As long as you got the basics, you don't really need credibility from the dunya then, innit? Especially if you know what you're going to do after. If you have the determination to become an imam, become an alim, become a teacher, you don't care about having A levels and degrees and all that. But if you want to go have a good job, then yeah, you're going to have to be working a bit harder.
It depends what your values are. Yeah.
Values are instilled in it.
Okay. Question. I was going to say, if it's harder, but you kind of said it's not necessarily harder if you know what you're doing. But I was going to say a question to that was a sub question. You could say, if you think it is hard, or if it is even hard a little bit, what do you think can be done to improve this? So for those who feel like they're stuck, perhaps, what can be done to help them? Because let's say if someone who goes in doesn't have the goals, I want to do this, I want to become this when I'm finished.
So our madrasa, Kent, Darul London, they had an agreement. I'm not sure if it's still in place. We had an agreement with Middlesex University that instead of doing a 3-year course, you can go there for either an extra year or 2 years, and you would have a degree, or you'd have a bachelor's or something like that. Basically, they would give you a fully fledged degree just by you putting an extra a year or 2 in. And I know there's a madrasa up north somewhere, I think it was Blackburn. They had an agreement with another university, kind of like the same, that your degree would be worth a bachelor's if you went to university for an extra year or something like that. So yeah, you'd put in an extra bit of work, but it would give you something that many people don't have.
I've seen that in a few places actually, even some places. I was going to shout out to Zuhri because they're doing that as well. Yeah. But also some other places. Might be in Luton.
Al-Hikmah, I think.
Yeah,
Al-Hikmah doing something like that as well. Like a lot of these places that are day madrasas now, they have it in place where they have like an agreement with a college or something like that, so that they have recognized their degrees or whatever. So I think there's ways that people are putting it in, but it's more as in like, it's less accessible to other people because they're not pursuing it. The schools aren't pursuing it.
I guess it's good in a way that you don't have to then have student loans and all that stuff to worry about, and a big, massive debt, and you can still get the qualifications.
Yeah.
So it's an incentive to learn the dini knowledge as well as getting a degree. Okay, now moving on, slight change of topic, but alhamdulillah, I would assume you had good role models around you, and I believe that's what may have helped you keep on the straight and narrow. Do you think that's an important aspect of a youngster's life?
Yeah, it's an important aspect of a youngster's life, definitely. I'm not sure. I wouldn't say I had good role models.
Okay, you disagree with. Okay, fine. There you go. That makes more sense.
Yeah, I don't think I had good role models. But yeah, it is important. I never really had or looked up to somebody as a role model, I think.
Not a single person.
I think a role model is somebody that you want to be, right?
No, because then you could say, anyone could say Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't say I had that when I was young, though. I wouldn't say that, that's something that was instilled to me when I was a kid, or something that, I want to be like that.
But there's no one you looked up to, like, okay, this guy's doing alright, maybe I want to be like a little bit like him, or he's doing something right in life. Nah?
Not really, no. I never thought I want to be like that. Like, knowledge-wise, I wanted that kind of knowledge, or... I wanted to be like an ustad because that guy knows bears or something like this, and have that kind of knowledge. That was once I got to the later years, but when I was younger, I don't think I would say that. Yeah, you see that guy, that way that guy's doing whatever he's doing. Yeah, I want to do that when I get older. Nah. No,
Right.
like, did they have like any elders that would come like really give you one-to-one advice, or like to a group or something? Yeah, I didn't have that kind of connection with the elders. Like, we did have them give bayans, and there was one elder that I think was there on the first year or second year that I was there. And like we have Anjuman in it, and you have like everyone gives a bayan. So alhamdulillah, I was in Nazar class or Urdu class, I didn't have to do anything. But whenever people run out of bayans, okay, we got no more, like, you got extra time left, no one else to speak, he would go on, and mashallah, he's travelled to Pakistan quite a bit, so he knew all the elders in Pakistan. He would give us mad stories. Like, that was one thing that was like mad. That's sick. But never was I like, yeah, I want to be like that.
No, fair enough. Sometimes this is reminding me of another thing. I don't want to sidetrack on to another thing, but it reminded me of sometimes hardship is what creates success in strong people. Sometimes it's not when you don't. Sometimes some people have, depends on the environment you're in. Some people have someone that's always looking out for them. They have good role models and they can be good, but that can also lead to the opposite. It can make you weak and make you complete opposite.
Was that tough times make strong people,
That's
that
it.
make easy times that make weak
That's
people?
it, yeah. So tough times make, like I said, strong people. Strong people make good times. Good times make weak people. Weak people make
Tough times.
make tough times. Tough times make strong people again.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. Yeah. Okay, going on from that, because you said it was important. We both agree it's important to have good role models. What can be done to help the youngsters who lack positive role models?
Who lack it.
Yeah. So if a youngster goes into, just generally, not necessarily in madrasa, but in general.
Don't know. Like,
This is a great opportunity for a plug for Nurul Qulub, by the way.
yeah, I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? Because basically the youngster needs somebody that would listen, right? Somebody that would look at the life he's looking at, not from on top or not from a different angle. Like, somebody the way he's looking at it, and then open up. Okay, you can look at it like this and that. And I don't think that person would find that in most places. Like, you won't find that from your local imam generally. Especially like with the newer imams coming, maybe you find it. But if you got like an old school imam or something like that, I doubt they're going to be like, yeah, you know what, you should pick these GCSEs and go into these A levels, and yeah, how are your grades doing? Like, I think it's very hard, like, unless their parents are there, or they got elder cousins, elder family members that are actually doing good and there for the advice. Generally, it'd be hard for people. Somebody that's in a madrasa, you would always look up to teachers or supervisors, even though they can be snakes. Like, they should be the ones that are role models.
Yeah. Which was funny that you mentioned a lot of the things you mentioned. It's mashallah things that you're doing in this mosque. Like, you facilitated for people to come in, give speeches on career paths for people to go up to, and I think also making that connection with the youth. For example, the table tennis thing that's mashallah kicked off now. It started off as just us playing around, messing around, and then boom, now mashallah lots of like around 20.
Allegedly we were messing around, eh? Allegedly.
And yeah, mashallah, now 20 plus kids coming regularly playing between namaz, between Asr to Maghrib, Maghrib to Isha, etc. It's great. And I think now, inshallah, soon starting at Muay Thai, if we can get it, Muay Thai over here and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu here. Things like that, I think, definitely going to get people to at least be closer to the masjid. And I think you're doing a good job for that, mashallah.
But yeah, if we're doing that, I'm doing that as the masjid, as the imam, getting them into table tennis and all that. But then, what's new?
Okay, so now this is the bit where I'm going to give a little plug about Nurul Qulub. So, a lot of the things that...
What is Nurul Qulub, though?
Okay, Nurul Qulub is an organization set up by Maulana Inam and myself and our family.
Me first, innit? So thanks.
It doesn't matter, man. Basically, we set up together. We all both have the same idea in mind.
Yeah.
I guess we both had different reasons for it. My reason mainly was I really wanted to set up youth stuff involved in the masjid, trying to get people to the masjid. So what I did set up was initially something scouts. We had set up scouts in the mosque, and that scout group grew and grew. Now, mashallah, it's a very successful Muslim scout group in St Albans.
The Ansar.
20 St Albans Ansar. However, that's gone more towards scouting and less towards the Islamic focus that I initially had in mind. So
Like, bro. So wait, yeah, go on.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. So what I've done is I've left that scout group now, and I thought, let's try and get back to the roots and do something that we want to do. We have more control over. Scouts is a umbrella organization. You can't necessarily force things because they're already done. So I thought, let's reinvent the wheel and actually do something that we want to do. Yeah, so that was my thing. So I was focused on youth activities and stuff, ways of getting people into the masjid, doing fun activities, be it things like hiking, trekking, fun activities, paintballing, just things that you can do with brothers, and sisters can do it as well. So sisters do things, guys do things, that builds that community cohesion and gets them into the masjid as well.
Segregated though, innit?
In a segregated manner. Yeah. So one of the things that we've worked on in that is family retreats, Islamic family retreats. We're working with a Mufti Sahib in East
Rauda.
London.
Yeah. Teacher at Rauda, also teacher at Imam Zakri Academy. Mufti Zubair. Most of
Mufti
them should know it.
Yeah.
Should know him.
And he, mashallah, he's got many years of counselling experience as well. So he just, alhamdulillah, just worked out because I said the idea to him as well. He said he wants to do something similar. We ended up working together with him. Inshallah, we want to do more retreats as well. So retreats is something we've got different things. We've got retreats, alhamdulillah, we're working on. Islamic family retreats where family can do fun things together. Beach trips, see the nature, spiritual experience, listen to talks, just fun activities. Then we've got separately, we've got youth activities happening, things we're doing in the masjid, things we're doing outside the masjid, for instance, taking youngsters to places like Snowdon, Ben Nevis inshallah soon as well, camping trips, etc. But then we want to also set up things like, I was going to say Alimiya, but maybe not ready for that yet. Sanatain first, inshallah, like Sanatain classes, 2 year, just basic Arabic, Islamic studies, and things like that for guys and for girls as well.
Yeah. I guess this is a good place to have that transition back. So now I have the power to ask you questions.
And this is where we break.
Inshallah, Jazakallah for everyone listening. Inshallah, we'll be back with an episode with me asking questions again. Although usually my guests ain't that interesting, as you've seen. Joking. And inshallah, everyone please do subscribe. Inshallah, share it. And let us know if you think I should be asking more questions or if I should do the asking, because I think my questions are better. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I've still got more questions, bro.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi